My name is Hema Shironi. I'm an artist and I'm based in Sri Lanka. So mostly my works, it's history and memories. I'm recalling them and connect them with my present life.
My name is Mahdis, and I was born in Iran, and I moved to the UK when I was 18 years old. And I currently live in Oxfordshire, and I work as a freelancer. So every day for me is different. I work on different things all the time.
I am Tayeba Begum Lipi. I live in Bangladesh, and of course I work over here also in Dhaka. So I'm not from Dhaka, but I live in Dhaka. Currently, I'm working on. So a lot of things, but right now I only can remember that I am working on a book, a print book, actually artist book, that I'm making etching process that I'm going to show at the India Fair.
So obviously I come from Iran, so that topic is very close to my heart, and I basically use that topic to really raise awareness for the situation in Iran, because I have a good understanding about it. I lived in Iran for 18 years, so I was directly affected by a lot of things that are currently coming to surface, and people are finding out about it. So for me, it was a difficult topic to work on, but also easy because I was very connected to it and very I had a good understanding about it. And I thought it would be a good chance for me to utilize my artistic skills in a way that is helping with this movement, because obviously we want it to succeed.
Yes, there are many artists, female artists. So in South Asia, I can say Ma'am Hashmi, Shalima Hashmi, Amra Abbas from Sri Lanka, Noli Pereira. But mostly I like artist Louise Bourgeois. So she is the one my favorite, and also I like the way she is working with the material and the medium. It's not in one thing; it's change. So it's kind of work. She's playing with the material. I guess she played with the material. So I inspired by that. So even in my works, I use varieties of materials and mediums. So sometimes I see the connection between the mediums because of her inspiration. Yeah.
I think there's not a specific person who I get inspiration from in general. I think with social media, as artists, we are exposed to lots of different artists or creatives all the time, every day. So I get my exposures and inspirations from seeing different type of people's work, and a very diverse set of artists that I follow. So these type of inspirations come from basically social media, and some of the inspirations come from my life experiences, things that I feel, I think, or some of them, the most recent ones, are about Iran.
I'm so grateful that who am I today, because there are a number of people who guide me to become an artist. So my teachers and curators, writers, and I'm grateful to Saskia Fernando Gallery. So as an artist, I'm trying to satisfy myself with making art. So it's like experimental works, right? So even I'm so careful because I'm a Sri Lankan. I'm living in Sri Lanka, so our past history, 3 decades of war and migration, many things happened to us, and it's happening all around the world, I guess. So I'm trying to connect myself not within the community or nothing to anything, but as a person from the outside of these matters, how I build up myself as a person, how I grown up with these matters.
Actually, I'm from a very small town. It's like a village. It's in the northern part of Bangladesh. And then when I did my higher secondary, I just thought about going to the university, of course, to maybe take literature or journalism as my main subject. So that was my, because I love literature. So that was my kind of goal. at some point I was thinking I'll be an architect, because architecture was also like in my mind all the times, from my childhood. I don't know why, uh, because maybe I have seen things maybe in my childhood which in a magazine or somewhere that maybe attracted me. But when I came for my admission to any other universities like in Bangladesh, came to Dhaka, my brother was living here. So one day he just told me that you also paint, you also draw. So do you think you will like to go for art school? So I just thought that okay, maybe I can go and see, what is going on over there. So I went to check first. So I just saw that there are like few young art, students, female students, they were smoking. And Bangladesh is very like conservative, but that time we were not that conservative. They were smoking, and then some of their friends were like male friends were walking around, and they were asking for cigarette or like lighters or something. And I saw the place, and it was not that I was attracted to the smoking, because I don't smoke, but I was attracted to that freedom. So I just thought, oh my God, this is my place. I want this freedom.
I basically, when I moved to England, I had to start from scratch. So I had to learn English first, and I had to do a diploma in art again, because I've done it in Iran already, but I had to carry on doing that again. And then I went to uni and got a job in like graphic design and stuff. So when I look back, I feel like it's a huge achievement to like start completely fresh in a different country, in a new environment, completely like a different culture, and get yourself in a position where you can actually work as a creative person. But I think the most the proudest moment was when I finally felt ready enough to become a freelancer, because I worked as a graphic designer for 7 years in like different agencies and stuff. And I felt like I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to do more illustrations, and to take that like step, and it was scary, but like finally when I felt ready to do it, I felt really happy. I felt like a big achievement. I felt like I'm confident about my own capability to source clients and stuff. So that was a really good moment. And also recently, me using my art in a way that is like so close to home, and like I'm using it about my culture and about where I'm from. It's been really, I don't know, inspiring for myself, because for all these years I was like just trying to adapt to the new culture. So I would just like create graphic design, like things that are like following a brand guideline or got like specific requirements. But now I feel like more free to express the things that are important to me using my art. Basically, it started by studying at London College of Communication after I moved to England. Graduated from university as a graphic designer, and then I started working as an in-house graphic designer in London for a couple of years. And then I reached a point that I felt like I had enough. I needed a break, and I took a year break, and I did some traveling and stuff. And when I came back, I basically started working as another graphic designer, but like in a different agency. And I worked for them for 5 years. And then lockdown happened, and like everybody else, I was like, okay, like I need some sort of creative release. And I started like just experimenting with digital illustration with iPad and Procreate. And it started like a hobby, just to like pass time and just to see what it has to offer. And then I shared my work online, and I received like lots of little compliments here and there, and that like really boosted my confidence. And then there were like few people got in touch and said, oh, can you draw this for me, I pay you. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I never thought we'd be able to do this. So then yeah, slowly I think that my confidence was built, and I realized, okay, I've got something that I can basically make it into a career, but also be fulfilled in it, like feel happy and fully express myself. So then for a year, I think I was thinking about it. Should I do it? Should I not do it? While still working as a graphic designer. And I think, yeah, it was around summertime last year where I finally made that move. And since then, I've been freelancing. I also do a bit of graphic design projects if it comes along. So I don't say no to them. I accept it if and when it's suitable. And then the rest is just working on illustration projects and things like that. So yeah, that's the progress.
Can't imagine.
Very good question. I really thought about this a lot, but I don't know. I couldn't really find a specific answer. I felt like there are things that I like in life, like animals. I love animals. Maybe I would have been involved with like something like dog shelters or something like that. But I feel like I've always been like into like drawing and like creative expressions and things like that. So I feel like it would still be something like creative or art related, but I'm not sure exactly what it would have been.
I do storytelling through art. So even my materials, the mediums, while working, I'm recalling my histories and my past memories, right? So I'm engaging with my history. So there is no any layout. So I just stitch on fabric or any other mediums. While work, I imagine my past life. So somehow it's connected to me when I am within myself. I imagine what happened. So when it's come to as an outcome, you can see the storytelling. It's I'm learning from my grandmother the way she make craft works. So she's good in embroidery. So the same things. It's generation to generation. It's like even I have a kid, so I will pass it to her. So it's just a fun, and also it's a connection between art and craft. So I'm balancing both of them to make art.
I think storytelling in art is basically the most important part of being an artist for me. I feel like I always wanted to communicate something through my art. Even as a graphic designer, you create graphic elements to communicate a specific message for your client. So I think that was like integrated in everything I did anyway. But I feel like recently, since I started drawing for Iran and the revolution in Iran, I felt like it became more prominent how important it is, and how influential it is, because I didn't think me drawing something, posting and online and telling a story about somebody who lost their lives being in a protest would really have that much of an impact on others, but it has had that effect. And I had like feedback from people messaging me and telling me how much they've learned from this art and how much it has impacted them. It just made me realize how important it is to tell these stories using art, because I feel like if you just write it, some people might not pay enough attention to a written piece. Maybe maybe it requires more brain energy to really read and understand something. But once you transfer that into visual form where people can have a look at something and maybe connect to it in that way, I feel like it stays with them for longer. That impact stays with them for longer. It gives them something to think about. They might even talk about it with others or show it to others to see what their reaction is. So I think storytelling with art, or using art as a storytelling tool, it's one of the most important things we could do to raise awareness, to pass on information to others, to communicate something specific or communicate something that's very difficult to talk about in general, because a lot of social issues are quite deep and very uncomfortable to really face. So I think art makes it a bit easier, or make it more accessible to people with different backgrounds and different understanding of these topics to really like pay attention to it.